Today, we are going to demystify the core engine of every successful movie ever made, the classical story structure also known as the Hollywood paradigm. To do this, we will look at one of the most perfectly plotted and structured films in cinema history, Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Hello and welcome. I am Robert Tutak, and for over 3 decades, I have taught the art of filmmaking to thousands of students at the university level and through the Manhattan Film Academy. The moment the conflict strikes the protagonist's life and destroys their equilibrium is called the inciting incident. It should happen as early as possible. In Jaws, it happens in scene 1. A young woman, Chrissy, is killed by a shark. The shark is the antagonist of Jaws, destroying the equilibrium of Amity Island. Who is the protagonist? Chief Brody is the most active character, but he is not the sole protagonist. In Jaws, we have a collective protagonist, the entire population of Amity Island. They all share one overriding objective: to rid the island of the shark, the antagonist. However, they suffer from a massive internal conflict regarding how to respond. Chief Brody wants to close the beaches. The mayor wants to keep them open for summer tourist dollars. They represent the internal conflict of the collective protagonist. The collective protagonist responds to the inciting incident by deciding to keep the beaches open. And there are consequences to that decision. In broad daylight, the shark kills young Alex Kintner in front of the entire community. The killing of Alex Kintner is plot point 1 of Jaws. This marks the beginning of the main, full-blown body of the story of Jaws. Plot point 1 is so dramatic that it turns the world of the story upside down. The dust must settle before the protagonist can decide the next course of action. This section is called Chaos. It is squeezed between plot point 1 and the beginning of Act 2. In Jaws, the chaos is the town meeting, a cacophony of panicked voices and contradictory suggestions. Suddenly, the screech of fingernails on a chalkboard breaks the chaos. It's Quint. He clearly states the world of the story. A killer shark is in their waters. He states the objective of the story: kill the shark. He formulates the central question: who will kill the shark? And he provides the answer to the central question. He will kill the shark, but for $10,000. This sets the stage for Act 2. Act 2 is divided into 2 halves. They are driven by the same objective, to kill the shark, but each half has a distinctively different nature. By rejecting Quint's professional offer, the collective protagonist outsources the task of killing the shark to unskilled labor, clowns masquerading as fishermen. What they get is a clown show. Halfway between plot point 1 and the midpoint, we hit pinch point 1. The function of a pinch point in a story is to visually remind the audience of the core conflict of the story and the nature of each half of Act 2. The first half of Act 2 is a clown show. Here, the clowns catch the wrong shark and make a circus out of it, celebrating a false victory. After the clowns catch the wrong shark, driven by a false sense of security, the mayor prevails again and forces the beaches open for the 4th of July. And the inevitable happens. A man is killed right in front of Brody's son. The boy survives but is deeply traumatized. The conflict gets personal for Brody. This triggers the midpoint. Charged with personal hurt, Brody grows assertive and prevails. He forces the mayor to sign Quint's contract to let professionals do the job. Quint is hired. The orca sails out of the harbor, and the second half of Act 2 and the second half of the story begin. The objective remains the same, to kill the shark, but the nature of this half changes. In the first half, amateur clowns catch the wrong shark. In the second half, professionals are in charge. Quint, a shark hunter; Hooper, a shark scientist; and Brody, a cop who knows how to handle firearms. They pursue the predator into the open ocean, giving themselves a real shot at killing the shark. All they need is the shark, the real one. Out on the water, halfway between the midpoint and plot point 2, we hit pinch point 2. Brody is chumming the water, and the shark, the real one, finally shows itself. That image encapsulates the nature of the second half of Act 2, a face-to-face confrontation between the real shark and the shark hunters. The game is on. The shark comes and goes, pulling them, teasing them, playing with them, and damaging the boat in the process. Finally, the shark attacks. The boat begins to sink. Brody wants to call the Coast Guard, but Quint destroys the communication radio. What now? The engine is dead, the radio is smashed, and the shark is here to stay. The final confrontation between the shark and the shark hunters is now inevitable. This marks plot point 2, the beginning of Act 3, the resolution. This pushes us directly into the climax. In Jaws, the climax is masterfully built in 3 stages, with the 3 representatives of the collective protagonist confronting the shark one by one. First, Hooper. He uses his educated scientific approach in the shark cage and fails spectacularly. Second, Quint. The blue-collar shark hunter fights for his life hand-to-hand and tragically loses. Third, Brody. He is alone on a sinking boat, encircled by the shark. But he has one skill at his disposal, the ability to aim a weapon and hit a tiny target, a skill forged in the crime-ridden streets of New York City. He uses this precision to shoot the air tank clenched in the shark's jaws, destroying the shark once and for all. The shark is dead. The objective of the story has been accomplished, the central question answered, the conflict resolved, and the equilibrium restored. This is a closed ending. This is the Hollywood paradigm of an action-driven story. However, identifying the major structural turning points of Jaws, as we have done here, is only the tip of the iceberg of Jaws analysis. If you want to dive deeper, visit the MFA website and watch the second part of this free lecture on Jaws. We will examine the deep correlation between the plot and the protagonist, specifically how their response to the conflict, driven by their backstory and character flaw, changes the direction of the story. Once you are there, you can also explore our upcoming masterclasses in screenwriting, directing, film production, and post-production, which combine traditional principles of filmmaking with cutting-edge AI workflows to write, pre-visualize, and produce your own films. Thank you for watching.